What's up, fam? This is Shannon. If you like content like this or my posts on social media like Facebook and Twitter, remember to hit that like button and subscribe. Check out my website, shannonbag.wixsite.com/mbrs to find more information. You can book a reading with me. I do astrology, birth chart, horoscope, palm reading, graphology, tarot, and so much more. I make custom 4-leaf clover bookmarks and money art if that's what you're interested in. If you want to book a reading with me or you have any questions, I will usually ask that you set an appointment. So let's get into the video. One really quick disclaimer, I will never reach out to you first. I will answer emails, I will answer phone calls, but I will never direct message you first. We'll have to directly contact me first if you do want to set something up. I know that there have been issues where people are getting the idea that I'm contacting them first. It may be that there's somebody pretending to be like me that I don't know about yet, but I just want to give you a heads up that I will never reach out to you first. If you need anything, you are absolutely welcome to reach out to me, and I'll usually answer same day. Hey, you can check me out at Shannon Bag MBR. Today we're going to be talking about the 10 questions you should be asking at an interview. Just to quickly jump in, if you haven't noticed, this is going to be part 1 of a 3-part series. So, anytime that you go to an interview, you sit down or you are on the phone and you're having this conversation and they ask you, do you have any questions? Besides the basic information about the job, you should be asking about their company. So I'm going to start with my number 10, and then we'll get down to my number 1 question you should be asking. So my number 10 question is, what do you do when someone doesn't make their goals? This is a yes or no question that off the bat, you will know how they interact with the people that work there. If they have goals or sales numbers or whatever that they need you to hit or to make, or whatever incentive that they have, if they have that, even if they don't, you should still be asking this. So if they tell you that, well, if you don't meet those goals, we'll probably do more teaching, more training, that's a good answer. If it's anything other than that, if it is discipline, oh, well, you're written up, or, we take away days, we take away hours, you go through any sort of punishment, then that's an immediate X. Because you're trying to do the job for them to the best of your ability, and if you're falling behind, you likely need help. If they are not willing to help you help them, then you don't need to be there. So that's a number 1 question you want to ask, number 10 on my list of top 10 questions. But that is the first question you can ask to immediately know whether or not they're going to be right for you. Number 9, who was the last employee that left or got fired? Why did they leave, and how long had they been working here? So the reason that you want to ask about the history of the job you're taking on is to know what kind of pattern of people have taken this role, what you may need to become, why you may not enjoy it, what you would have to be dealing with, and what the potentials are. Now, there are 2 sides to every story. You're not going to have the opportunity to speak to this past employee. And if the employer tells you, well, we can't talk about that, that should be a red flag, because you're wondering who was in this last position and why are they not doing it anymore. The last person that left the company or got fired from the company, and why did that happen to them, or why did they choose that? Was it another opportunity? That sounds, good enough. Hopefully this new company isn't lying to you about that. Or was it, oh, well, there was a disciplinary problem and they just weren't getting well along with the staff? who are the other culprits and problems that you're potentially going to run into. My number 8 question is, what does management ask for most frequently from its employees? So I used to be a regional supervisor. For those of you who don't know me, I have a lot of history in management. So management should be able to answer this question. I will give you an example. The management from the bank that I worked at, we expected employees to do timely customer service and bring in accounts. I hated that job. For those of you who watched my I Hate Woodforest and Why I Would Never Go Back to be an employee there video, will know my experience from that. But when I was a regional supervisor, I would say, well, you have to have good customer service. You have to make sure that you're counting your drawers correctly, that you're being as helpful as possible, being able to identify technical issues and handle it, things of that nature. So management is going to know what the employee is asked of most frequently. This is not a gotcha question. It's a, okay, what am I going to be hearing most often when I first come in that's immediately out the gate going to be a consistent thing that I'm regularly having to abide by or do. My number 7 is, what improvements do you feel the company needs to make, and what are your biggest complaints about the company? Now, off the bat, you're asking for, give me reality. Don't just hand me bull. I need to know, because everyone has room for improvement. Everything has room for improvement. There's always something to do, always something that needs to be done, always something that can be improved, changes that, there's always something. And asking them that, if they're like, nope, I wouldn't change anything, that's a red flag, because they might be lying to you if they don't have anything negative to say, and if they don't have anything to claim, yeah, as an employee here, I do think this, and I've talked to them about that. You can also ask why they haven't changed it yet if they do bring up something, and they can give you an answer, but they have to say something. If they don't say something here, red flag. My number 6 question to ask during an interview as an employee is, what is the company's strengths and weaknesses? So this may fall back to, what improvements does the company make? But you also want to know, what good things do they do? Because if it's just benefits, the culture may not be healthy. It may be a toxic work environment if the only thing that they can say that is good is money. Strength in our company was our employees were always backed up. It's not always the customer is always right, because you may be in the wrong yelling at my employee. My employee has to work here. They have to deal with this. If you can't respect them, I don't want you as a customer. Being able to stand our ground and talk to people in a professional way, but still having the employees know that they were valued. They were valued more because they were the ones doing that job. Yes, the customers paid them, paid with direct forward complaints, people yelling at them. I wasn't going to have people cussing my employees out. That's not what I want them paid in. I want them paid in good money and respect. That was a benefit of ours. One of our weaknesses was that management was afraid to hire people that they didn't trust, that they considered outsiders. So they just had a lot of trust issues, and that was a weakness of ours because we were frequently short-staffed in upper management. A big part of what I do requires funding. That's why I sell products online. I book readings, and I ask for donations from lovely people like you. If you do enjoy my stuff, you can go to PayPal and send shannonbag@gmail.com. You can do Cash App, hashtag Shay, KMB, SHAYKMB, or on my Patreon, which is Shannon Bag MBR. You can follow me on Reddit and Pinterest and Instagram as well. I have 16 social media platforms. I'm sure you can find me somewhere. Thanks for watching.